Step into the Incense and Whiskey sanctuary with mindfulness enthusiasts and verified whiskey lovers, Mecca and Ashley, as they discuss all the random topics they love, from mindfulness to memes. This is Ashley.
And this is Mecca.
Sonya Phillips is a Washington, D.C. congressional researcher by day and an essential oil enthusiast and wellness advocate by night. It is her passion and ministry to educate women about the health benefits of essential oils and other natural, alternative, and safe approaches to healing. She first started using essential oils herself 2 years ago and fell in love after she began seeing positive results. Today, she's here to spread the word. So welcome, Sonya. Tell us what got you into essential oils.
This topic is near and dear to my heart, so I'd love to talk about it endlessly. I got into essential oils because in my early to mid 30s, I was starting to see some issues with my health, in particular hormone-related issues. And I was going to visit doctors and taking them my problems and discussing with them what I was experiencing. And, the solutions that were offered to me were only surgical or prescription related, or the option that they gave me was to live with the pain that I was experiencing. And so because those were not sufficient answers for me, I set out on a journey, a health and wellness journey, I call it, to find answers for myself. And so in that process, I assembled a team of people that I jokingly call my wellness warriors.
Oh, I love
that. And all these warriors consisted of, acupuncturists, colon hydrotherapists, massage therapists, herbalists, and naturopaths. And so in the process of visiting these people and just sitting at their feet to learn from them, I learned so much about so many different things and ways to heal your body naturally and healthily. And that's what led me to essential oils.
That's great. And so can you tell us, since you've been on this journey and this path for some time now, can you tell us about the different ways that you've used essential oils and how did you go about learning those ways to use them?
So as I stated before, the number one problem that I was facing at that time was hormone related. In particular, a specific condition that was uterine fibroids. And so my focus was on that, trying to have ways to not only alleviate the pain and manage the symptoms, but to try to get to the root cause, right? So, essential oils was one of many things and many different modalities that I did. But in the process of starting there, I bought particular ones, thyme, clary sage, frankincense, and started with those. And then as I learned how to use them topically, aromatically, and internally, I grew my oil collection and started using them for a number of other things beyond fibroids and beyond, hormone balancing elements. But it was very important to do my research and kind of go through experiments and trial and error to get to the quality oils. I started out probably like most people, never even knowing that essential oils had any, that they were plant medicine and they had any healing capabilities at all.
Right.
I never saw them that way. You see them as air fresheners and just, kind of cute decorative things that you have and nothing more than that. But, if you can get do your research to find good quality food grade oils, you can use them aromatically and topically. So that's kind of how I started with the process of learning, maybe the grocery store oils or whatever you buy off the guy in the cart on the side of the street.
Those might not be the oil.
With incense and, and sage and all that. Those probably are not legit.
You don't think so? You're probably, I believe you.
And usually you can tell by, the price point, like to get good quality oils that come from a plant that was grown in the right climate, the right part of the world, use the right soil, the right amount of rain and sunshine. There's a process for that, right? So, and you're going to pay for that process and you pay for quality. So if you get like a frankincense, for example, which is the king of oils, one of the most precious oils, and somebody's selling it to you for $10, that's not legit.
That's not
like, you just know that that's a biblical oil. You're not getting a high-end oil like that for, a couple bucks. So,
Sonya, one thing I heard you say is that you were taking some of the oils internally. Did you say that?
Yes.
Like, that's one thing I've never heard of. I know people use them for all kind of like ailments and of course like aromatherapy. Like, how do you know when you can take them internally? And is there specific type of oils?
So for the company that I'm a wellness advocate for, we have high quality food grade oils. And right there on the label for the bottle, you can see if it's one that's safe to take internally or not. So for example, if it's an essential oil blend, something that they put together to maybe help you sleep and relax at night, but is not one that you should take internally, it'll say essential oil blend. There's also some that will flat out say essential oils. And one, dead giveaway is if one of the wood oils like hoe wood, cedar wood, sandalwood, kind of common sense that you would not take those internally. Right?
Okay. Right.
Yeah. But if it says essential oil supplement, a supplement, like a vitamin and supplement, that is one that it's okay to take internally. And there are different ways that you can do that. You can get a veggie capsule and make up your own, depending on what condition you're trying to treat. You want to work on suppressing your appetite, or you want to work on lowering your cholesterol or whatever, you can mix up your own veggie capsule, just take that internally. A common way to take it internally also is to drop it in water. Put a couple drops in water, a couple drops in your tea, things you're going to drink anyway. Just spice it up, flavor it up a little bit. And you could also drop it under your tongue, put it on the roof of your mouth. But yeah, and of course, don't do it to excess, you know. But they're food grade. They come from plants. So
I love it. I love the fact that you kind of giving us an idea of all the different ones. So just kind of run it back. Which oil do you use to suppress your appetite?
That's the one to know.
Right. That's a good question. So there are several that you can use, actually. You can use grapefruit as one. Grapefruit is a really good appetite suppressant. And that's something that I was fortunate to learn even before I found out about essential oils. So snacking on grapefruit throughout the day, and specifically grapefruit, not oranges, not tangerines, not any of the other families. Something about grapefruit that does it for you.
Okay.
And so the grapefruit oil is really good. And also cinnamon. Cinnamon is one that I think is helpful for like cravings and distractions in general, because a lot of people that are trying to kick nasty habits, like say, for example, cigarette smoking, there are some oils that are great for that. They have a really high price point. Like, for example, Melissa. Melissa is a very precious oil, but it's on the pricier side. So when some people are looking for things to distract their mind and their mouth from overeating or for smoking or things like that, I might suggest cinnamon. And you can even take like toothpicks and marinate them, so to speak, in the cinnamon oil. Olive oil, cinnamon oil, grapefruit, put it in a jar, marinate it, and then you can chew on that throughout the day rather than eating. You can also put those oils directly in your water and drink them. That's what I do.
I love it. Supplements. I think this is all good information. One thing that you said is that you were going to doctors and you didn't really get the answers in the help that you thought you needed. So you kind of took your own health in your own hands. And I think that's really important to hear, because a lot of people sometimes kind of feel like, even now in this day and age, going to the doctor can be a little bit difficult because of the state of where we are right now in regards to like the corona, and just not being able to get the essential needs that you may have in regards to like any ailments in your body. So to be able to get the information, like, okay, this is the thing that's wrong, and being able to create a plan on your own to actually solve the issue. Now, we're not saying that you shouldn't go to the hospital, you shouldn't go to the doctor. What we're saying is that there's a way to feel empowered and aid yourself in your healing, right?
Absolutely. And I think that's incredibly important because, I am not of the mindset of bashing the medical community and doctors and hospitals at all, right? So if I, get shot in my thigh or twist my ankle,
Heaven forbid.
I know, right? You can't,
none of those things.
You can't put essential oils in a bullet wound.
Definitely
you can't put essential oils on a broken bone, right? I need to go to a hospital. I need to see a doctor, right? So So not talking about things like that, because there's a group of people that will not, see
Yeah.
no matter what.
I know a person or two who may,
yeah.
It's those same people that are like, you can just meditate away pain, and
You can though, Ashley.
I believe you can to a point, and to, like Sonya is saying, after a certain point, you need medical attention beyond that. But I wanted to ask, we just talked about ingesting the oils. I wanted to ask you, if you're applying oils topically, could you talk to us a little bit more about what type of oils you'd be applying topically, and are there key points where you would be applying the oils on your body?
Absolutely. So again, depending on what the issue is that you're trying to work on, is where you would apply the oils and which ones you would use. So if you want to work on acne, you may use some tea tree. If you want to work on wrinkles, you may use some myrrh, frankincense and myrrh, or even some rose, or the age range, because you can use oils on children, as well. You may dilute the oil. So you may use a carrier oil rather than putting it directly on your skin. Another thing that I do monthly, and this was a part of what sold me and sucked me into essential oils, was on my abdomen. In the areas where you have those problems every month, take your clary sage, you take your thyme, your geranium, Roman chamomile, and rub it on that area. Massage it on there.
That's a good idea.
It will absorb into the skin, and it will help you, and you will see quick benefits. I've never, ever recommended it to anyone that didn't come back to me with rave reviews. And I wouldn't recommend it if I hadn't had rave reviews and results myself, And also on the bottoms of the feet, like there's all kinds of various pulse points and reflexology points and different entry points. And so the bottoms of the feet are a really good one. Around the ankles is where I apply oil sometimes, because those areas correspond to the ovaries and the uterus. And the same thing in men, it corresponds to the testes and to their sex organs as well. So that's a good place to apply oils. And then if you ever see an acupuncturist, the different points that they use, some of them actually incorporate essential oils into their acupuncture session. And so again, if they know what it is, what condition you're working on, they can advise you on where the best place to put them is. But oftentimes, the bottom of the feet, the wrists, the back of the neck, temples, things like that, those are key areas.
I love that. You mentioned using a carrier oil. I'm assuming because it may not, using an essential oil directly on your skin may not be safe. I'm guessing that. You can tell me if I'm right or wrong. What kind of carrier oil would we use with an essential oil?
So there are some essential oils that you can use neat, what they call neat. And what that means is you don't need a carrier oil with it.
Okay.
Just like my bourbon.
That's perfect.
You like your bourbon, like your neat. So, it would depend on what the oil is. There are some key ones that you probably almost always want to use a carrier oil with. Something that's going to be hot, like oregano. That's a hot oil. Thyme is a hot oil. Cinnamon is hot. Clove is hot. And they all have amazing healing properties. I love all of them, but they are strong in their smell and they are strong in their touch. So you always want to use a carrier oil with those. Some of the others, you don't necessarily have to. And it depends on the effect that you're going for. Like, I don't know if you want to use it as your perfume. You might put it on directly, but different carrier oils, avocado, coconut, castor, black seed oil.
Okay.
Can determine what texture you like and what scent you like or don't like. With our essential oil line, we also carry one carrier oil, which is just a fractionated coconut oil. And when you get it in a fractionated state, that means it's going to always be liquid. Because usually when you buy coconut oil, it's solid. And then if it's heated, it'll melt. But then when it's removed from the heat and it cools off, it'll solidify again. Fractionated coconut oil never solidifies. So that's a good carrier oil. And that one has no scent at all. So you only have to worry about the oil. But using a carrier oil really can be effective for your essential oils because it dilutes them so you don't use too much, and it helps them spread better and absorb better into your skin. Okay. So it's actually better, like, for example, if you're going to put them on the bottom of your feet, when you go to sleep at night and get in the bed, they recommend that you use a carrier oil and then put on your essential oil, and then even put on socks. And that helps you retain a lot of the benefits of the oil. So you don't immediately wipe it off on your sheets,
Right, exactly.
Kind of sealing it in with the socks. Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I did that with some tea tree oil the other day.
And what was the benefit of that? What did it feel like, and what did it do?
For me, it was like warming. I mean, for two reasons. A, I felt congested a little bit, so I did coconut oil and a tea tree oil, and I, slabbed up my chest.
Lathered yourself up?
And under my nose, and then I did it under feet. I did some real old school grandma. But the socks, I was like, oh, that's perfect, because, you think about people putting on some type of foot cream and then they put their socks on to seal the deal. So using the essential oils, it basically just seals the deal. And under your feet, it felt, it was a warming, tingling feeling. So it was just one of those, like, I don't know, it was natural and it felt good. I didn't have all the knowledge that I have now, but I feel like I was on the right track.
And for anybody who is still averse to putting them on your skin, there are other ways that you can get the benefits from, the aromatherapy part, right? So if you have scarves, this is what I recommend for people that have to go into the office back in the days when we were still going into an office. But if you're in like a cubicle or a space where you don't want to offend anybody else, you can have your own diffuser bracelet. You have some beads, pendant. You can put it where only you can smell it, or you can put it in scarves if you don't want to put it.
Good idea.
Mecca, I just found your Christmas gift.
My diffuser scarf. Okay.
Diffuser scarf. I'm going to do a bracelet. It's going to be a surprise. One of the two.
Okay. I love this information, Sonya. This is super helpful because it kind of gives us an idea of the different ways we can use essential oils, why we use them, and just kind of empowering ourselves with the knowledge to kind of like aid our healing again.
Yeah. Wait, there's like so much more we could be asking you, but if there was something that you could leave our listeners with that you felt was key information when thinking about using essential oils, what would it be in your opinion?
I would say definitely keep an open mind, do your research, make sure you get good quality oils. That's something that you can talk to me about if you want to. And definitely try them and experiment. I find that a lot of people who are averse to them is because maybe it's a hashtag or it's a pop culture thing to just play down essential oils. And so many of those people have never even used them. They don't even know what they are, So it's really helpful. I give people samples, and I turn skeptics into believers, one sample at a time, and like, with myself, like I said, I started on the hormone journey and I wanted to educate other people about that, and beyond just fibroids, but all phases of a woman and the different things that we can experience, So I put together a 6-class series with one of my essential oil partners. We put together a 6-class series where we literally handle the life cycle of a woman from cradle to grave. So in our first class, we talk about the preteens, teens, early 20s, all the issues that you may experience that. And we really focus on the whole picture. So not just essential oils and not just trying to sell you essential oils. Of course, we make recommendations throughout the class about how that can help you and support you. Mm-hmm. But we talk about diet, nutrition, sleep, everything, your whole lifestyle, what you're putting on your body and in your body and how you're cooking your food. You get all of that in our class. The second class we dealt with was the one that focused on hormone problems. So like your fibroids, PCOS, endometriosis, thyroid health. And then the third class is where we talked about breast health, because that's incredibly important. And a lot of people have regimens and protocols that they go through on a regular basis. You can add essential oils to that, and that can be even more powerful. And in the fourth class, we moved into fertility and how you can use essential oils and other health and wellness practices and good lifestyle changes help boost fertility and have more success in that area. Fifth class was postpartum, and we dealt with a number of postpartum issues beyond just depression. We talked about that as well, but there are so many other things that come along with that. When your hormones fluctuate, that changes hair, that changes skin, that changes so many things. Right. And then the last class was menopause. So the different phases of menopause, whether it was, pre, peri, post. We talked about all of that and what you can expect and how essential oils can support that process as well. So that was something that we offered. We started in May and we did it through July. And we learned so much in the process, and we wanted to take what our participants gave us and, you know, do a new and improved version and offer it again. So hopefully it's going to be coming up towards maybe the end of October into November, a new and improved version. I'm going to try to polish it and give everybody, package it into a really good class series.
I love that.
Yeah. So tell us, Sonya, where can people find you if they're interested in learning more about essential oils or to participate in one of your classes?
Definitely, you can always hashtag slide into my DMs on Instagram if you would like. My handle is at Sonya Oils. So just my first name, Sonya, and then OILS, Sonya Oils. And also you can visit my website, which is again my name, SonyaPhillips.com. And that'll take you directly to my doTERRA website where you can read all about essential oils, how to use them aromatically, topically, internally. If you like to read things, there's a ton of information there. Or if you like to look at short video clips, if that's quicker for you, so much information. You can go through all of the oils that we offer and what their benefits are. And even type in any particular condition or ailment or that you have and see if there's a blog post or a document that speaks just, you know, exactly to that. But yeah, I can be reached Instagram through that website. And even, you know, directly to my email address. That is my name with a middle initial. So Sonya N, the letter N, Phillips @gmail.com.
Easy.
Perfect. Easy. I will be reaching out. I may need a it. So
we will both be reaching out.
Sounds good to me.
I have questions too, so you'll hear from both of us.
Okay. Sounds good.
So this was perfect. You guys have the information on how to reach out to Sonya, both Instagram, email, websites. Thank you for being here. Thank you for talking to our listeners and giving us some knowledge that we didn't have. So much appreciated.
Thank you. Mecca, I have been curious about crystals. I know you've given me the rundown before, but what can you tell me? I feel like I have forgotten since our last conversation. So can you tell me what should I know if I am dipping my toe into knowing more about crystals? Where would you start me?
Well, I think crystals, healing crystals have definitely become very popular within the last, they've already were popular, but I feel like they became more popular because of their healing properties within the last few months. So basically healing crystals, and this is just my opinion, there's so many different aspects of this, but I'll kind of just make this a little bit quick. But basically, it's just another a healing alternative, right? It's one of those things that we talk about empowering yourselves to be able to kind of aid yourself in your healing. Mm-hmm. So, they kind of were formed in the ancient times of Hinduism and Buddhism. And the important part of it was that these particular crystals had all these healing properties that can support you in various ailments, self-care, and healing powers that can give you, as well as not only healing for ailments, but also healing and empowerment, or, can shift your energy. That's the other piece of it. It has the ability of shifting your energy.
Okay.
And so a lot of people use them in sense of they want a thing to manifest. And when I say thing, that could be a feeling that they want to have. There may be a healing that they want to have. Maybe they have headaches. Maybe their dog is barking too much. Maybe they or need more motivation, or maybe they just want to feel more powerful in conversations. Maybe they have a fear of speaking in public. There's so many different things that you would want to use a crystal for. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of like your empowerment tool, just another power tool to aid you into being your best self. That's the easiest way to, without getting too technical about it.
Okay.
So I wanted to talk about some of the newer crystals. Some of them are new, some of them aren't for me. So there's a few crystals that I wanted to talk about today specifically. Now, mind you, the crystal that is like the master healer, the one that people, if you are buying crystals for the very first time and don't know much about it, but it's kind of like a universal crystal, is a clear quartz. So a clear quartz kind of looks like a smoky ice cube a little bit. And that right there, if you don't know anything about any crystal, that's the easiest to go to because it's like, water. It can be used in everything.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I was wondering where we were going with this. Okay, got it.
So the ones that I'm going to talk about today are I bought a couple of newer ones within the last few days that I'll share. One of them is a citron. A citron is like it's like light brown amber color.
Okay.
And you can buy these crystals in a tumble. A tumble means like a rock. It could be in a wand where it's kind of like, looks like a little bit of a miniature or a long wand that you can kind of hold. As well as like, looks like it would have been chiseled from the actual a crystal rock. So it comes in all these different forms. So a citron, to just make it easier, are used with light makers, happiness, joy, light, the magic of life. It helps with manifesting wealth and abundance. So it's one of those kind of crystals that you got to keep with yourself if you want to feel light, bring lightness to people, happiness. If there's something that you're trying to manifest, and that doesn't necessarily mean money, it could be anything that you're trying to manifest. That's one of a central kind of easy stone that you can find, a crystal that you can find and keep in your pocket. Sometimes I keep it in my bosom. I always keep one that's like a larger that I would have on display within my home.
Wait, so I gotta ask you this, Mecca. So when you say you keep it in your bosom, I'm assuming you're tucking it into your bra?
Yeah.
And you like just wear it with you throughout the day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Close to it's small enough to where you won't know. It's not like
I would imagine that.
It's tumble. So yeah.
Okay. Close to the hoard. Got it.
Yeah. So that's citron. And then another popular one is amethyst. Amethyst, I love it because it's this beautiful purple. Mm-hmm. Purple is my favorite color. And it's just so powerful. And so one of the best crystals to use for like meditation, it assists with sleeping. It opens up your intuition, third eye. It's one of the most effective crystals for healing people, plants, and animals. Okay. So it's something that I actually keep. I keep a tumble. And I also keep a larger one that's kind of on display in my home because the color is rich. It's a really nice display. And then I do love the properties of them. Another one is called turquoise, turquoise crystal. And I interchange between stone and crystal. So it's one and the same.
Okay.
And that's used another master healer, health, protection, and wisdom. So a lot of people like to keep that as one of those things. It's a level up from a clear quartz because it also has the health and protection and wisdom. If you want to use that instead of clear quartz, you totally can. Some of the properties and the benefits that I talk about, they all may like run together. They all like cross train together, if that's the better way to understand it. Mm-hmm. They're parallel with their descriptions. Selenite. That one is really cool because it is like a clear, opaque white, and it usually has like these little thin layers that create one large form. Okay. So if that makes sense, like a thin tons of thin layers that create a large form. Mm-hmm. And this is considered like liquid light, helps in cleansing one's own light and protection. So with selenite, I have that as a wand. And when I say wand, think of like a large sage stick. Like a pencil, something that's long, and you just kind of use it as a way to, cleanse, bring light and protection amongst yourself, your home.
So you would pass it over you similarly, or your home similarly as you would for like a sage.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you have that, and then another one that I just recently got was a gold stone. A gold stone similar to like amethyst. I love the color of it because it's so rich. with gold, like a brown, amber color, but then it has like these little gold sparkle specks in them. And that one is supposed to bring you light and happiness to your life. So it's like an overall general, and I'm giving you the very general meanings of this to kind of keep it condensed, but by all means, ask me whatever questions. That brings light and happiness to your life. So you've kind of heard me say gold stones, selenite, amethyst, and citron are ones that have light and happiness. Those are the running themes for that. So there's another one that I got specifically for a chakra that I've kind of been working on and just like working on my own chakras. Now, let me see if I say this right. It's called agronite. Agronite is a grounding stone. So when a grounding stone is then kind of associated with the root chakra. So it gets to the root of the problem. That's kind of like what you would use this. I wanted to show it to you. So that color is like kind of like a cross between lemonade and orange juice mixed together.
Ooh.
So that's the color of it.
Okay.
And then that color, that crystal is like your grounding stone, your root chakra. So whenever you're working on like, maybe you're meditating on your root chakra, maybe you are, lighting candles, incense, doing all the things to kind of activate that chakra. That's a really nice stone to have on hand. So that was the stones or crystals that I've been working with right now. There's so many different crystals out there. I mean, thousands. So those are the 6 that I kind of have on deck right now.
Okay.
With a tiger's eye, all kind of things. But the short of it is, it's another empowerment tool to help aid in your own healing.
So when you say these are the ones that you're cycling, I think you said cycling with right now, do you go through periods where you're focusing on the properties of certain crystals, and then maybe other periods you may use
exactly
crystals you had before? Or it sounds like these are newer in your collection. So
yep.
Okay.
The amethyst is not new. I just got a new amethyst crystal, a larger one to put in the house in my living room. But yes, those are the ones I've cycled through, and some of them I cycled through continuously. So I always have amethyst. I'll always have clear quartz. That's going to be a staple. It's kind of like having, you'll always have sugar, salt in the house, maybe, right? Mm-hmm. Some people always have, you're going to always have some water. So abstinence, that's another very popular one, which is a black one. It's a protector. That's all it's for. Well, not all it's for, but it's a protection, a very well-known protection crystal. So those are like, clear quartz, rose quartz, abstinence, obsidian, and jasper, and rose quartz is love, right? Love yourself,
right? Rose quartz is the one that
your heart. That's a pretty popular one as well.
Okay. And then, can you talk to us about the care of your crystals? Do you store them any particular way, or?
So, like right now, I have some of them displayed in the house. I usually keep candles and plants near them. I always like to have the elements near them. So I always want to have some fire, water, air, life next to my crystals. And during the moon cycles, being at full or new moon, I usually charge my crystals. We talked about this before too. Like you can do like a charging of your crystals during the moon cycle. You can even make yourself some moon water with some of the crystals that you have. The biggest thing is, so say I've been gone for a while, or maybe someone, you really don't want anyone touching your crystals just because you want your own personality, your own being, and your own cohesiveness with them. So, but for whatever reason, say someone picks up your crystal, God forbid, you can cleanse it. You can smudge them. You can smudge them with Palo Santo. You can smudge them with sage. And that's kind of like a smudge them and clean them. That's a good way of doing it. And then charging them within the full moons is another good way to kind of keep them up and running.
Keep them up and running. Okay. Well, I may have to look into picking up some crystals of my own. And I think you gave me some good ones to start with, actually. So I might need to be trying to figure that out. Do you have any particular places where you think shopping for crystals is more ideal? Is it okay if I find some and order them?
Well, I think finding some that's ethically sourced is more important, right? So
Okay.
you can go. I would veer away from going to Amazon only because you never know how the seller is selling their. I'm sorry, sourcing their crystals.
Right.
Finding a local store is always important, and then talking to the owner, talking to the people that work there. I went to the Lotus Den today, and one thing that I asked, I was like, "Oh, where do you guys source your crystals?" We had a whole conversation about that. There's quite a few online shops that I can include all this in our Instagram, but there's quite a few online shops that are very into specific sacred spaces and sacred lands where they get their crystals, and that's important. It's almost like food, right? You don't want to eat meat from an animal that is having a poor diet, because then you have that same poor diet. So you just want to make sure that you are getting crystals that are ethically sourced, that are real, and are coming from a reputable vendor. I'll send you a few. I'll actually include a few of them in our Instagram post.
Yeah, I love that. Thanks, Mecca.
You are welcome. So that was your crystal.
Crystals 101 for the day.
I would say, yes, Crystals 101 is so much more that you can go with, but that was a good introduction. So yeah. you have a good start. All right. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
They say opposites attract, but do they? Let's play a game called Fire and Ice.
Mecca, I have a fun round of Fire and Ice for you. We're going to do Fire and Ice Historical Figures Edition.
All right.
Do you know what that means?
You're going to tell me.
All of the individuals in this round of Fire and Ice are no longer with us.
Okay.
And today we're going to celebrate their memory by reimagining what they could be doing in these scenarios. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm game.
Okay, so for our first matchup, if Harriet Tubman and Bernie Mac, rest their souls, were choosing people for statues to replace Confederate statues.
Oh boy.
Name one individual that they would together decide we should have a statue for.
Ooh, are these people alive or
anything's possible?
Okay, so let me go back. Harriet Tubman and Harriet Tubman and Bernie Mac.
Yes.
They get to pick one person to replace a Confederate statue.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and this person can be alive or with us. I'm sorry, alive or not with us anymore. Ooh, okay. I think Bernie Mac and Harriet Tubman. So Bernie Mac is Chicago, funny, family man, kings of comedy. Harriet Tubman out here like just sweeping up people, just getting us all across the water. Let me see. Let me put this together. Who would they pick? Lord. It's so many names that it could be. Like, I just feel like
the first thing that came to your mind.
Okay. I just feel like there's so many people that it could be that they would be like, yeah. I mean, the first face that just showed up is Nina Simone. And the Nina Simone that showed up was her smoking a cigarette with a turban on. Like,
yes.
Like what?
I'm here for that.
Like
Listen,
what?
America needs that statue. I don't know if it already exists or not.
I just see that. It's the first thing that popped in my head is we got grace with Nina Simone.
We're off to a strong start here, Mecca. I support that. We're off to a strong start.
Okay.
For our next matchup, if Big Pun and Madam Big Pun, the rapper, if Big Pun and Madam CJ Walker,
oh my gosh,
bless their souls, started a candle company, what are some of the scents that they would create?
Big Pun
Yes.
And Madam C.J. Walker.
Madam C.J. Walker.
Starting a candle company.
Yes.
What are the scents? Ooh. Ooh.
I have some thoughts. Do you want to hear my thoughts?
I can hear your thoughts. The first thing that came to my mind before you start is hot hair grease.
That's the candle. We're going to have hot hair grease.
But it's going to be a bergamot. It's going to be like a bergamot Earl Grey lemon deal going on.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, go for it, Ashley.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was thinking big pun, Madam C.J. Walker, entrepreneurial, those kinds of words came to mind. I thought of wealth and money. And so I felt like there would be a candle that smelled like all things expensive. Just
rich.
Ripping with money. Just rich.
What's the name? Drip?
It might have to be Drip. We're going to make it present day. And that might have to be the name of their candle company. Drip, for sure.
Okay. I actually like that. Okay.
Yes,
all things money. So we got Drip and we got hot hair grease. Because, people love a good funny name that they can say. It's like nail polish, right? We love a good nail polish. Taxi hopping out on the night. You said what?
Okay.
SC and OPI got all these crazy.
Yeah,
okay, whatever. Okay. But I like that.
All right. So on our next matchup, James Baldwin and Katherine Johnson, brilliant minds. They own a winery. They're just trying to kick it. What's the vibe?
Okay. James Baldwin, one of the best novelists, authors out there, and Katherine Johnson, mathematician from NASA, right?
Yes.
They have a wine company.
Yes.
And the vibe, that's what I'm talking about. Like, what's the vibe?
Yeah, what's the vibe?
Okay. I just need you to just kind of work with me. Have you ever been to Morocco before?
I have.
Oh, okay. Look at you. Okay. So there's a place, and I hope I say this name correctly. There's a place called Shellshay. Am I saying that right? Oh my God. It's the Blue City. So I see this amazing like blue walkway, and I said the name incorrectly, so don't at me. But there's an amazing blue walkway with these candles on the stairs. So you walking up some candlelit stairs. You walk in, and the rooms look like luxury libraries. You see like in beautiful like calligraphy, a math equation. What's one of the most famous math equations out there? So one of the most famous math equations is like painted on the wall, and this beautiful calligraphy. And the wine is brought to you in stemless wine glasses.
Okay.
And the coasters are all like quotes from famous books and trigonometry, like equations. And you order your wine on something that looks like a calculator, but it's actually like a menu.
Dang, Mecca.
So
that was really good.
That is what the vibe is.
That's the vibe. Very intellectual, very sophisticated, cultured, world travel, knowledgeable. I like it. I'm here for it. I want to go to that winery. We may have to build that winery.
Yeah, sure. We have to build that one.
Okay, so our last matchup. Are you ready, my friend?
Okay, I'm ready.
Maya Angelou and Aretha Franklin.
What?
Too soon. Left it too soon. But let's say they were playing spades.
Ashley.
Yes.
Maya Angelou and Aretha Franklin playing spades.
Yes, playing spades.
Okay.
Who's going to be their partners? Who got who?
How many partners can they have? I can't remember.
You're
going to have one partner with spades, right?
Right. You have one partner with spades.
So Maya Angelou, I'll tell you Maya Angelou needs somebody that's a little bit calculated. So Maya Angelou got a witty, she's witty and quick anyway. Mm-hmm. So I think that, but she wants somebody that's like her homegirl, got her back on all sides.
Okay.
The first name came to mind is Oprah. I don't know why.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah. So I just saw that as being hers. And then Aretha want a man that's like a kind of a shit talker. Beat that out. But she wants somebody that's going to be talking a whole bunch of stuff and just kind of keeping it really lively, but respectful. And this person could be living or
no longer with us.
So for some reason, I see Aretha Franklin picking Richard Pryor.
Oh, I never would have thought of that, but that makes so much sense. And I would want to go to that game. Like, I would want to watch everything. I would.
Right? Would that be funny?
Yeah.
Would that be funny? I love that. I see that as a painting. You know how you see those dogs playing poker? I can see that being like a painting. Like, they are just all around this glorious, rich table. They all up in that winery of Katherine Johnson and James Baldwin playing spades.
I envision it. I see things that we're imagining. I'm like,
I love that one. That was really good, Ashley.
I'm glad you like it.
Super creative.
It was fun. It was a good laugh. Laughter heals the soul.
It's medicine right now, right?
Medicine for the soul. Yes, for sure.
I love it. All right. So we have our James Baldwin and Katherine Johnson winery. We have a spade game with Maya Angelou and Aretha Franklin. And we have a candle company with Madam T.J. Walker and Big Pun.
Yes.
All right. There you go. Fire and ice.
Fire and ice.
Catch us next time on Incense and Whiskey.
In the meantime, take a breath, have a sip.